Friends, hope you all are all good. Today we will see what are the different types of USB cables available and widely used USB cables in the market. So first we will go for USB type A. This is the most common used USB type in the market. So this ships with every laptop and every desktop. So this is the widely used USB. So USB type A. USB type A is most commonly used with computers or power outlets. You can see this in any chargers. When charging, you will connect the USB Type-A side into the USB plug or into the laptop or computer. USB-A cable will only go into the port one way. You cannot use it either way. It has to be plugged it in one side up. You can usually tell which way up, and they should be by the USB symbol printed on the top. Make sure that the cable is inserted the correct way so that you are not damage the cable or the device. The familiar rectangular USB Type-A also written in USB Type-A or USB Type-B. USB Type-A gained popularity in the mid-90s. Standard USB-A connectors have a distinct top and bottom which requires them to be oriented properly in order to be plugged in. So this is the typical shape of or the image of USB Type-A. So now we'll go for USB Type-B. USB Type-B is somewhat less common but is electrically identical to USB Type-A connectors. USB Type-B connectors are frequently used in printers and some cameras. You can see these type of connectors, although they can also be found in some of the monitors and USB hubs. So the next USB type will be mini USB. The USB mini was used for connecting mobile devices including MP3 players and cameras and is a much smaller connection, thus allowing smaller devices to connect. So you can see this was used in earlier days when we were using the digital cameras. So transferring the data from digital camera to the computer, we were using this type of connectors. So this is called as mini USB. So the next one is micro USB. Micro USB, I think we all have seen this. Micro USB used to be the most common USB port and it is still found in many older models of mobiles. This type of connectors allows data to be read without needing a computer. For example, you can connect flash drives, a memory stick or directly to your mobile device. So you can use as you can connect USB type micro USB and thumb drive directly to your mobile phone and you can read the data or you can copy or paste the data. Like USB type A cable, micro USB will also go into the port if it's the correct way around. Be careful to watch the shape of the port of the micro USB cable to avoid causing any damage. The micro USB is a smaller version of USB type A interface. When it was introduced, its small size made it ideal to connect and charge portable electronic devices like power banks and e-readers, handheld GPS devices and mobile phones. Earlier, most of the Android mobile phone used to ship with this USB. Now let us see what is USB Type-C. So USB Type-C refers to the physical shape of the newest USB connector. Don't confuse the USB Type-C connector shapes with the speed of the data transfer standard USB 3.1, USB 3.2 and USB 4. Key difference of USB Type-C versions, its predecessors include slim and sleek design, ideal for mobile electronic devices, robust connector, strong enough for computers, symmetrical and reversible, which means there is no wrong way plug it in. You can plug it in upside down or outside up without damaging any device. This eliminates one of the most common complaints about other USB form factors. The new USB connector is intended to replace all other USB form factors and provide a future-proof, fully featured option for hardware designers to standardize on. As you can see, most of the Apple devices has been changed from Lightning port to USB Type-C. So this will be the future of all the mobile phones or all the electronic equipment. So USB Type-C is one of the mostly in high speed and throughput cable, that's why, and it can charge and it can be used to connect the display as well. So USB type C is one of the best USB form factor as of now. That the while USB type C ports are becoming the standard on mobile devices and consumer hardware including PCs are just beginning to integrate USB type C port onto the latest generation devices. Nowadays we are getting the thumb drives also of USB type C to USB. You can reverse it and you can connect it to your laptops. Then the next one will be USB Type-C. There are many USB Type-C type USB connectors, but mostly we are using 6 or 7 devices. So that's why I have listed only 6 or 7 types of USB, which will be widely used and it will be fun to know. So the next type is USB 3. USB 3 was designed to be able to the backwards compatible with earlier version of USB cables and ports. USB 3 has different shaped connectors pins so that it can withstand more frequent use. The USB 3A, USB 3B cables are indicated to the USB A and USB B cables on the top of their article, except they are colored blue inside to distinguish them. The USB 3 micro cable has extra pins to enable the transfer of more data. So this is the picture of USB 3. So let us break down the USB data speed rate. So USB 5, the specification name is USB 3.2 Gen 1. As we have seen, most of the people speaks with it's USB 3.1, USB 3, USB 3.2, Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. So I'm categorically I'm breaking out the data speed rate of the USB as well as an add-on. So which used to be called USB 3.0. It offered a transfer rate of 5 GB per second, which is about 10 times faster than the USB 2.0. USB 10 Gbps. The specification name is USB 3.2 Gen 2. So USB 3.2 Gen 1 can transfer rate of 5 Gbps. USB 3.2 Gen 2 is capable of transferring the data of 10 Gbps. Released in July 2013, it is used to be called USB 3.1. It's offered a transfer rate of 10 Gbps over the existing USB A and USB D connectors. So the latest one is USB 20 Gbps. So this generation is called as USB 3.2 Gen 2 into 2. Released in September 2017, and it is available only through USB Type-C connectors using two-lane operations. It offers 20 Gbps transfer speed. So the next one is USB 440 Gbps. The specification name is USB 4. You have heard USB 1, USB 2, USB 3, USB 4. These are all the generations. So this was released on March 2019. It leverages the Thunderbolt 3 protocol and offers transfer speed of 40 Gbps. As you all know, Thunderbolt port is the joint collaboration of Intel and Apple. So these ports are available in Intel laptops and Apple laptops. So it has been adopted by the USB 4, so you will be getting the transfer speed of 40 Gbps per second. Note that the correct specification name is USB 4 and defined by the USB developers. It is sometimes identified as USB 4 with a space. So the latest one will be USB 40 Gbps. So the technical name will be USB 4 version 2.0. So it was released on October 2022. This updates specifications, extends USB 4 speed and data protocol performance, enabling manufacturers to develop products that can deliver up to 40 Gbps per second, but can be even higher when configuring asynchronously up to 120 Gbps per second in one direction and 40 Gbps in the opposite direction. This standard is also fully compatible with DisplayPort. So you can use this port as for the DisplayPort as well. You can connect to the external monitors. So as I have said earlier, so the USB 5 Gbps, the specification is USB 3.2 Gen 1. Its the transfer speed is 5 Gbps. Interface you can see is USB A, USB C and micro USB. So I have shown you earlier the pictures: USB 3, USB C, micro USB, mini USB, USB B, USB A. So this is the specification. So if you are going to use USB 10 Gbps, so the generation is USB 3.2 generation 2. So you can use it as USB 3.1, 3.1 Gen 2. So the speed is 10 Gbps. The interface available is USB Type A, USB Type C and micro USB. And USB 10 Gbps is also the specification which is used only in USB Type C as well. So after 10 Gbps, 20, 40, 80, all the USB interface will be USB Type C. USB Type A is not available with 20, 40, 60 Gbps transfer speed. So that's the reason most of the devices are now adopting with USB Type C. Please note that while data transferring rate of USB Type 4 and USB 4 version 2 and even USB 3.2 Gen 2 and Gen 2 are impressive, many devices are not yet capable of reading and writing of these speeds. Actually, speed will be based on the host and the destination device. As you can see, some of the latest Android mobiles have USB Type-C and data transfer speed of 10 Gbps, and where you can see iPhone, the latest version also is limited to 3 Gbps per second data speed. So it varies from the device to device and manufacturer to manufacturer for the transfer speed rate. So that's it. So commonly we are using these are the most common used USB types in the market. So hope you enjoyed the video and you got to know some knowledge about USB types, USB type cables and connectors. Let me know if you like the video. If you need such more video about this some knowledge, please let me know. If you have any questions, please comment me on comment section. Thank you for watching. Thank you, friends.